some cues.
Kind of see what you guys are up to, and then we're gonna.
What's that? I'm Veronica Taylor.
I'm Rena Taylor.
And we're happy to be here at SacAnime 2019.
Woo! Winter show!
Can you believe it?
Yeah. And we've had you at our SacCon before. I had the pleasure of moderating for you back then, which was excellent.
It's a while now.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
Yeah, too long.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. We are too.
Yeah.
We went to Fairy Tale Town yesterday and ran around and went down the slides.
It was maybe the best experience of my 2019 so
definitely.
far. So
Definitely.
I see what you did there.
Great. Thank you.
And people are like, it's the last thing I'm going to buy in 2018. It's like, December 31st. You're like,
I like to see you next year.
Yes, yes.
On December 31st.
You're like, good one.
Yeah.
It's classic humor.
You have to celebrate that, We have to work on the dad humor all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's just humor.
Make the dad humor.
No,
just
that's a dad
humor.
joke. Yeah.
Well, how come I'm saying it? I'm
Oh,
not a dad. It's just classic. So does anyone have any questions?
No,
Or shall we chat some more about? Yes.
We're gonna line people up right here,
Do it.
and we're gonna.
Wow, nice costumes.
Yeah, they got some crazy costumes.
Organization. Oh.
I'm not up on my Pokemon. I'm not 100% sure. They told me, and I don't remember.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
So, let me see. Since you play as Micaiah from Fire Emblem Heroes, so what is your favorite season event for Fire Emblem Heroes?
The one I'm in? I didn't know it existed before I was in it.
I mean that hasn't appeared before. Like, let me see, the spring banner, the bridal banner.
I have not seen any of it. So I don't even know really what it looks like. I've seen bits where my lines fit in, but I don't know anything about it to be able to answer the question for you. I don't have any devices to play the game at home, so I've never played it, so I haven't even really seen what my character does, to be quite honest. What's your favorite? Because that will become mine.
Well, let me see. Obviously Christmas.
Christmas. All right, I love Christmas.
Or New Year's.
So does it go through all different seasons? Is that how it works?
I guess.
Okay. Yeah, Christmas. Definitely then. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'll try to play it before the next time I come. The character is really interesting and kind of complex, which I like playing her. But I don't know that much about the specifics of the game.
Okay.
Thank you.
What was it like to voice Amelia on the Slayers?
Pretty exciting. For anyone who hasn't seen Slayers, Amelia is the star of the show. So some of you have seen it. She's definitely working on that character. She's so high and up here and wonderful that doing it kind of gives me a head rush. So it was great to play her because she's so truth and justice and out there that it was really great. And at one point, I would work on Pokemon during the day and then Slayers at night. And it was always great to have Amelia because Ash is kind of so ordinary compared to her that it was nice to have a break and go off to that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice costume.
Thank you.
Nice costume too for you.
Excuse me for a minute, it's getting a little high and you probably cannot hear me well.
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh.
Reveal yourself.
Whoa.
Yes!
That was amazing.
Hello again, Veronica
Hello.
Taylor. Do you remember me? We met a few years ago here in Sacramento in Florida.
Yes, I do see you now. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
I have to cut the glare from my eyes, but then I see you.
Oh, because of my shiny hair. So.
No, it's not just your hair, those lights. But anyway, yes, nice to see you.
All right, I do have a question though. Will you guys have an adventure in the car again with Rachael?
Perhaps. I haven't seen, so Rachael, Lillis, and I were driving around in Los Angeles and we did silly recordings of that in character, other characters than ourselves. And so it was really fun, but our schedules haven't come together for us to just be goofing off lately. We've both been too busy, but it's not something we're against doing. But it really just was a weirdo, spontaneous thing. So perhaps.
I would love to see the skits again.
All right.
All right. And
Thank
also,
you.
I do remember that you wanted a voice for Funimation. So congrats on getting the role for Dragon Ball Z.
Thank
It's
you.
super.
Yeah, I'm doing Barry Blue in the new Dragon Ball Broly, that movie, and then also Brienne Ribrienne in the show. So, pretty exciting to be
Stay
a
tuned.
yeah, to be a tiny blue woman and a large greenish woman. It's good.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Don't say any more.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, John Schimmel was talking about the movie, and he's like, I can't talk about it. Was it the premiere? I can't talk about it.
Oh, really?
It's up to you.
Well, it's on their website that I'm the character.
Oh, cool.
Isn't it?
I don't know. But
This
we won't
doesn't
say
go
anything.
past here.
Don't tell anyone.
I don't want to ruin your enjoyment of the movie, which is pretty cool.
Hi.
Hi, nice costume too
Hi,
for you.
thank you. So what was one of your favorite episodes or moments you had voicing Ash?
Every single moment was awesome. The first season I was pregnant with my daughter, so that was its own kind of challenge.
Journey.
It was a journey, which ended well.
I think so.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
I
it
would say.
continued.
Yeah.
And it continues now.
Wow.
Oh, deep. I loved playing Ash because he's so positive and adventurous, and I really learned so much because I realized I had taken positivity for granted. I didn't realize how much you have to work at that, how much you have to work at friendship until I got to play Ash. So it was great, and I studied stage combat for years, and so to be able to really use that in a show and not actually have to hit someone was really great too.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi. Nice costume.
Thanks. So I was just wondering, like, as a voice actor, what's it like to just kind of have your voice as a character out there, but then like have it compared to the Japanese voice by fans, and in some cases, you know, have fans be like, "Oh, well, this English voice actor's not nearly as good as the original." Like,
Right.
does that kind of discouraging, or is it just more like, "Oh, whatever, I don't care"?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm not online a lot, so I don't read positive or negative things very often, so it doesn't bother me at all. I also think that the original is always the best, especially with shows that I've been fortunate to work on. The Japanese casts have been amazing, and I feel fortunate to even be able to be part of it. Many of the vocal choices that I have made on shows, let's say specifically for anime projects, are not ones that I have just come up with and said, let's do this. They have said, we're looking to kind of match somewhat what came before, and we want you to fit in here, like Nico Robin in One Piece. When I was playing her, she had a southern accent. I do know most people didn't like that, but that wasn't my choice. So I just try to do my best, and then there it is. So I don't really think about the negatives, and I kind of don't think about the positives either. I just kind of try and go in and do my job. But ultimately, you want people to be happy. I don't know that you can win in comparisons, ever. But
Yeah, but it's also a good thing to keep in mind, just like for anything you do too, of like not thinking about what other people will think about, just kind of trying your best and doing what you want and what you think is the right thing too. I think that's
because
always
you
a
think
good.
it's right.
Yeah, I think that's always a good way to attack or approach
Yeah.
any kind of issue or thing too.
And especially with acting, everyone has an opinion, so you have to kind of stick with one thing. Nowadays, we're like giant, all of us are like giant targets because of our social media use and all of that. So no matter what, you can be attacked for anything. So you have to figure out how to protect yourself.
Yeah,
I
make
guess
good
for
choices.
me, make good choices. And sometimes just stay offline.
Good
If
idea.
if someone writes it and no one reads it, does it exist? I don't know.
Fair enough.
But thank you.
Hello, I got a silly question. Do you remember the episode where you were throwing a rice ball at a monkey?
Yes.
Did you guys actually think it was a donut?
No. I do think that in the beginning, I don't know why specifically the choices were made to call sushi ball a rice ball, to call that a donut or hamburger or
Yeah, it was-
whatever when it clearly was not. But I do believe that part of it was that they didn't know how American audiences would take it. I had never even eaten sushi when we started working on the show. But now it's like everybody has that for breakfast. It's so commonplace you
Yeah.
can buy it in the grocery store. And everyone has a better understanding, which I do think people getting angry about it being called the wrong thing in the show raised an awareness that is quite positive. But I don't know why. First of all, no, none of us were fooled. None of us in this room. I have no idea why they did that. I do think it was a little bit dumb. But it did have a positive result.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't mind it. That was actually pretty funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
There were a lot of funny things. We had great writers, and maybe they put it in as a joke.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
We'll
never
never
asked.
know.
We'll never know. Maybe we
It's
will
a
know.
mystery. I know, we could just call
I could go ask
somebody,
someone.
but- Yeah.
I never, you know what, we talk about these things and I leave here and I forget, so I'll write it down.
Yeah.
Okay, let me I'll get a paper. No, don't worry, I got it.
All right,
No,
thank
I
you.
don't got it, no, don't. Thanks. I'll write it down later. I'll get it later.
Hi.
All right, no, hi.
Come on up.
I like your costume.
Thank you. Is there anything that you would either change about Pokemon or your character?
I wish I were still working on the show. I would love to change that, but nothing against the people working on it now. But I miss working on it. I wouldn't change the fact that Ash loses a lot, because I do think that we learn through loss, and often those very difficult, terrible situations are the ones that when we look back we realize we wouldn't be who we are now if not for that. So I wouldn't change that he loses. Maybe I would change that his mother goes on the journey with him, since I played the mother too. And as a mother, I like to be on a journey with my child.
Very true.
We have some fun.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I think, especially with Ash, I think he was pretty perfect because he was so imperfect. So I don't know that I would change anything. Would you? About that, about Ash?
No.
No? Yeah. I love the journey that they were on. Thank you so much.
That's a good question.
I love your hair,
Maybe
too.
I would change
Your
the
underwear?
Well, I was going in that direction of I would have him wear some more clothes, like different outfits.
different outfits.
I would like to see some change up, like trying
Sometimes they
different
wore
things.
bathing suits.
Yeah, but remember in the movie when they wore like those fancy with the costumes and stuff? Like, let's have some more of that. I need some more like fashion changes.
That's a good idea.
Visually, I think that would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We need to see an Ash glow up, basically.
Well, maybe not a glow up, but just like, packing a suitcase. He's carrying that backpack around, so there has
It's
to be
full of
something in there.
Underwear.
Underwear. Right.
And a
so,
Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
to keep
even
it in.
just like maybe an accessory once in a while.
Like
I
a
just
comb?
like something, or like an ascot. Just like
nice.
change it up.
Good point.
I think he can find some inspiration.
He was too young to need deodorant.
Oh,
So his
that's so
backpack
true.
was light.
So true.
You better hurry with another question before
Please.
What is your dream role or like a type of character that you'd really like to voice for right now?
I love to work. So my dream role is the next role.
Okay.
Quite honestly. I like playing Ash was great for me as a girl, to have a character that was so terrific. He got to go through so much, and at the time there weren't that many girl roles that got that opportunity, and now there are more. So I like roles that are far from myself, that make big choices, and that make me push my boundaries. So whatever that is, I try to work a little of that into whatever I get. For instance, Sailor Pluto is not that, because she's so contained that in itself is a challenge, to really hold back, and when she cares so much, she just can't express it. And so that's its own challenge. So to find, in a sense, the humanity in any character is really wonderful. Also, the weirder the voice, the better, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
So then I wouldn't have to do weird voices at home. I would just do them at work. You laugh. They're not that weird.
Awesome, thank
yeah,
you.
You're welcome.
It's endearing.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi there. So I apologize. Maybe you've been asked this before, but I'm curious. So Pokemon has been around for like more
20
than 20
years in the US.
More than 20 years
Yeah.
now, yeah. And it's definitely, and it's not going anywhere. It's a legacy kind of thing. So it's been a while since you voiced the character, but does it ever feel like a out of body experience or like bizarre to you, like to see a new ad like in the year 2018 for the next big budget Pokemon game or the next movie, and you're like, I was a part of that?
Yeah, actually, it does. That's a lovely question. It's amazing to be part of something that people watched, period. But what I find incredible is to be part of something that changed all of our lives, that affected us so deeply and in ways that you're not fully conscious of. It changed my life. I also had a child at the end of this first season, so my whole life changed and it made me think about everything differently. And the show affected me for that. It is really neat, and to come to a convention and be able to, we all are friends right off because we love Pokemon. And that continues. Now I can talk to you, I can talk to a 3-year-old. I've talked to some grandmothers because they watched it with their grandchildren and now their great-grandchildren, you know? Wow. And so it spans a time. We have a language that we share, and then, or a vocabulary we share. And then we go on to become friends based off of that. And I find that incredible. I don't know anything that is like that. Because the journey of Pokemon is the journey that we are all on, and it continues. It just continues. And even if the show stopped or they stopped making games, it would still continue. And kind of because it's in our hearts, and kind of because we come together and talk about it. So yeah, I'm amazed every single day that we're still talking about it, that I'm so lucky, that we're so lucky to be part of this family. And so the trailer for a new movie or the new game, those are little reminders, but it's this that's the most amazing thing to me. I'm so incredibly honored.
It's a wonderful answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if it had gone on any longer, you would have had to sit down, I think. But
And breathe.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, 20 years ago, Pokemon came out. Now, with the advent of the games, I mean, heck, I've even got an old Game Boy Color that I used to sit at my job and play Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on.
Right,
and
right.
My coworker and I would link them together and battle away. And then now you have Pokemon Go on phones.
We all have it on our phone.
How many people have met new people just because of Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
I mean, just walking around and running into somebody, and I mean, I met neighbors that I would have never talked to otherwise because.
Wow. Because you bumped into each other because you weren't.
Literally,
looking up?
yeah, just like boom. It's like, what are you doing?
That's so funny.
Do you play Pokemon Go?
Yeah, we both have it on our phone.
What team are you on? I'm a Mystic.
Valor.
Oh,
Dang it!
Valor. We're all. You can be Team Taylor with us.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, it's not like we're against one another. We all work together, and you build strength within your team.
Yeah.
And then by battling another team is what makes you better. So.
Yeah, except Instinct. Nobody likes those people.
A lot of people. No, it's fine.
Potato.
It's fine. No.
That was the only question I want to ask.
Oh, yeah.
That's all
But
right.
again, like meeting people, I found out about like not Pokemon Go, but about like the different teams from bumping into someone on the street, and because of the like connection that I have to it, I was like, oh, my mom's the voice of Ash, and they're like, okay, and then like
Nobody
kept catching
cares
things.
about that.
Nobody cared,
Yeah,
but then
sure.
like we were talking about it, and he was like, yeah, Team Valor's like the best team, and so we're like, oh, okay, so you know, the word of mouth spreads, and then it's a great way to meet people too. So it was really fun.
Hi again.
Hi.
So, let me see. Well, on Pokemon, on the Indigo League and Orange League, what is your funniest moment that makes you laugh so hard?
Orange. I love the Orange Islands. Isn't that, I like the Kangaskhan, that part. And then like when the Mankey steals Ash's hat, and I don't know. I love the. There were so many funny things that they said, and kind of. I just loved how simple it was.
Or what about how calling Pikachu Pikachu because of the pink tail?
That's right. I've totally forgot about that. Is that in season 1? Like, should I be watching that right now?
I think that's in the Orange League, I think.
Right. I'll have to look. I didn't remember that. That's funny. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Hello again.
Hello?
I have another question.
Yes?
Do you happen to have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee?
I would go for Pikachu, but I don't have either. So can I get that on my phone, or do I have to get the Switch?
You have to get the Switch.
So I'm just going to say, in my dream world of owning a Switch, I would get Pikachu.
Nice, yes. Also, to get the base experience, you probably want to get the Pokeball Plus.
Is that the one you get to wear?
And also you can actually throw the Pokeball at the Pokemon.
What?
I like this.
Wait, where are they?
You can
Where are
actually-
the
They're
Pokemon?
everywhere.
No.
They're amongst us.
So wait a minute. So like, it's like Pokemon Go on your phone, and you can see them, but then you have a real ball that you just throw.
Yes,
at
it's
things?
It's
a
like a
similar mechanic to
controller.
Pokemon Go.
It's a remake of the original games, but
Yeah.
you catch the Pokemon in the game like they go.
Bless you. But, wait,
But-
but
but,
where does
like,
the ball go?
my point is-
Why
You,
does
no,
it
you don't
break?
throw it. You just hold on to it. It's like a controller. The actual dots, like
Oh,
I see.
Okay.
So you
I
can
thought-
actually- yeah.
I
No,
thought
you-
you'd
This
be,
is
like,
why we don't
walking,
own it.
I know.
I mean,
I
like,
had the visual that you would be walking around just throwing balls
You know,
out
instead
at
you're
things.
just going like this.
Yeah. I
And
know,
then people
what's
are like,
better?
are they crazy?
Yeah.
No, it's Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, there's one more thing. You can also transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee.
Yeah, you can link the
I've
two
only
games.
got 8, I think, on there. So that would take no time for me to transfer them. Thank you for telling me
that's
that.
really
We're going to
cool.
put it on our list, our Christmas wish list for next year.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We've had the same Nintendo DS for I don't
still
know.
have a DS.
No, that's what I mean. Like we only have Nintendo DSs.
That
and
was a big deal when we got a DS.
It was, but like we haven't played that in a really long time.
It's not
so.
that we're losers.
No,
we just read
don't
books
have
a
time.
lot.
We don't have time, and you know, I bet I gotta check on my Nintendogs. So we have to
My
see how they are.
Yeah, and I got my Tamagotchi in my pocket.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so busy feeding it.
What about Webkins? My
Aw.
Webkins is like probably dead, but
Well,
but don't
but
think about
dressed
that.
well.
Yeah, you know it.
Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to know, how did you deal with filming like the emotional parts of Pokemon? Like in the first season when Ash released Butterfree,
Right.
Or like in the first movie when Ash turned to stone. Like how was that? Like how was like
Spoilers.
filming that? Like the more like emotional parts of Pokemon.
Well, the great thing about it is that because you only, so when you're dubbing anime, you don't see the script ahead, you don't know what's coming in the scene ahead, you just are skimming through the script to your next line. You hear the 3 beeps in your headphones, you're watching the scene, and you just start talking to fit the lip flap. So it's really a great exercise in being in the moment, because you can't plan ahead or say, I'm going to hold back on the emotion here because in 3 lines I can let it go.
So it's like
Or
fully authentic.
you're very in the moment and realizing what's happening as you go. So there are some times when I've worked on something that we're doing it and I go, oh, now that I see where we end up, can I just go back and do that first line? Because I think I gave too much away, and I do want to hold back a little bit more here, so that we can sometimes, if time allows, pop back and redo that one. But in general, it's quite emotional because you're playing that moment. And those were really sad.
I still cry every time I watch it.
I know, but they were so sweet and real. And that's the thing I love about Pokemon especially, that there was so much reality in it.
Oh, yeah.
And we learned how to deal with loss in a way that was sensitive. And he had to let Butterfree go.
Yeah.
So you can accept it and figure out how to deal with that in your own life, a little bit. But yeah, it's all just in the moment. Yeah.
And that's where having a good director comes in too, because they know what's coming up, hopefully, so they can say or stop you and say, oh, redo this now with a little bit more backstory too. So it just depends. But
Depends. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You're welcome. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I have some asthma.
That's okay. Take your time.
Anyways, you were talking about how seeing stuff about Pokemon makes you reflect on being part of it.
Right.
I have to ask you, have you seen the live-action Detective Pikachu trailer yet?
I've seen the trailer, but I haven't seen the movie. Has the movie come out?
No, not till the summer.
So no one has seen it. So, yes, so the answer is that I have seen the trailer. Have you? Has everyone? Yeah. Okay, so what do you think?
It looks, looks awesome, and...
Why does it look awesome?
Well, I like Deadpool Pikachu.
Oh, so that's what, okay. Yes?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
And Fluffy
Ryan Reynolds?
Pikachu, how fluffy he is.
Oh, that's really good. So he gets a blowout.
Yeah.
It's Ryan Reynolds. It's my hetero man crush.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you like it because it's Ryan Reynolds.
I love Ryan Reynolds, but yeah, I mean, I'm in it for the Pokemon and the comedy of the one kid actually being able to hear him when nobody else can, because you can see just the good animation that they've done. You can just see how exasperated Pikachu is that nobody understands him. But this one guy can hear him, and he's like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
you can hear me?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Funny.
I think it'll be.
You've been waiting years for this.
It'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to being entertained
That's good.
and seeing Ryan Reynolds.
And see, hearing him. Oh, Ryan. Hello.
Oh, yeah. So, as you were playing Pokemon Go, did you meet people who recognized you?
No.
Oh, really?
Never.
Surprising.
Even going up to people who are playing the game, who are old enough to recognize me because they were over 25, and saying, "Oh yeah, what are you guys doing? Oh yeah, I used to play Ash," and they're like, "Okay." They really didn't care.
It's like, oh, I'm playing the game, and then...
Hey, you guys playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
I used to play Ash on the show. Is that the...
Okay, and then they
And then
walk
really
away.
turn
That's
away.
what it is. That's exactly what happens. It's so funny.
no one really
crazy
cares. Which is fine with me because playing the game is a little more important than making me feel good. No one recognizes me ever, anywhere.
Let's just say our therapists are very
busy,
very rich. Just kidding.
We
fine.
pay ourselves.
We're fine.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Just kidding.
I got to tap in on how you said Ash needs to be dressed differently.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have been thinking he would look good if he were dressed in bib overalls, and I need to get a piece of fan art done of that, don't I?
You know his mom would like that because he'd be working out in the garden with her. Instead of her getting Mr. Mime to go out there and pick carrots, then Ash could go do something while he was home. I think that would be good.
That would be fun.
But he looks very good in a tuxedo.
True.
Because he already has a black T-shirt.
Or a different color shirt. It doesn't have to be a big change. It can be small.
So go for the overalls.
You inspired me when you brought that up. I'm going to go with spending whatever to get that drawn now.
Thank you.
All
I'm
right.
so glad. I can't wait to see it. That's such an exciting thing.
Hello.
Hello. I've been a fan of you since like 2001 when I first got into Pokemon, and I started watching in the Hoenn region when you played both Ash and May. And May's been my favorite character of all time. So I just wanted to ask, would you rather perform in contests or Pokemon battles?
Oh, is May only in contests? Is that the...
Yeah, but she also does some battles, but not like how Ash does it in the leagues.
Well, here's the thing. I'm a peaceful person, so I'm not really into battles. But I play a lot of sports, and in that sense, a battle is like a soccer game. And so I'm totally into that because I think working with others, it gets your skills up, and you really can become a Pokemon master, soccer master, whatever. But I do like the contests are more about intellectual skill, and I think both are very necessary. As an actor, I love the battles because I love that stage combat aspect. So I'm going to say, which I might regret in a minute, but I'm going to say battles.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no, contests. No, battles. Okay, battles.
Yeah, both.
Both?
Both.
Yes.
There was a question I'm not allowed to ask, which
really?
revolved around Mr. Mime, but it's okay.
It's okay.
So I'm curious, what happened to Ash's dad?
So I don't think anyone knows what happened to Ash's dad. I certainly do not know. But I also think that kind of could be what's behind him going out on his journey. Because ultimately, he's going out to find himself. And not that he wasn't satisfied with what he had at home, but like all of us, we journey out to find out more, to push our own limits.
Right.
And I think partially not knowing his dad might be what was behind his kind of, what made him really go out. I don't know, it didn't seem like that never came up at home. I think he and his mom had a pretty great life there, so I don't know that he didn't leave his mom, but he went out to find himself. Hey, Leo.
So one of my favorite questions to ask guests when I get the chance is most voice actors I've heard are trained classically in stage theater, and I similarly am actually a recent graduate of theater. So I'm just curious, were you trained in a specific like school of acting, like?
You mean like Meisner technique
like
or something?
Meisner, Adler or something? Yeah.
So I started acting when I was 5, and I did all the shows in my school and then all the shows in my high school and in my community theater. And then I went to college, and I have a Bachelor of Arts in acting, and we did mostly Stanislavski technique. We did some Meisner technique, all of that, and then I toured the United States with an acting company for 2 years, and I went to grad school. I have a master's in acting, and we worked on all different types. I'm not really trained in just one type of acting, but in general. And then I toured with some other acting companies around the country, a lot of children's theater, and then I started auditioning in New York. So my background is in school and also in practice for that. So yeah, are you in a certain technique? Like, are you?
Oh, I was trained in a lot of different stuff, like Meisner and Stanislavski and Adler and a bunch of stuff like that.
Right.
Just some of a little, because
You
sticking
need
to one is.
You need to take in everything so you figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And how you can transition what's on the page into your emotion on the stage, I think.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. I just made that up.
Wow, you're a poet.
I didn't know it.
Aw.
Anyone else? Shh. I'm going to look at my watch. 43. How many minutes do we have?
We got like a
more?
little over 15 minutes, yeah.
Are we going to the top of the hour?
Yeah, why not? There's nobody after us, so we can chew time.
All right. Yes, of course. You can yell it from over there if you want, or. Oh yeah, I think vaudeville is really important. I think all of you in this room right now have a tremendous burden on you because you have to be responsible for everything that came before up till now. Vaudeville, all of those great old movies in the 30s. What's that? Radio drama, all of that, because our pop culture humor is a mash of all these things. And even though you may not know it, the jokes that you're laughing at have come from long ago. So Jack Benny, all of those great shows. So yeah, I've watched all of that. We listened to a lot of radio when I was growing up, in the car. We still listen to a lot of radio, whatever you can find. My parents listen always on Sundays to all the old radio shows are still on. WAMU, which comes out of Washington, but you can stream it online, and all those, like Johnny Dollar and all those great old shows. But those are the things, ultimately it's storytelling. That's at the core of our humanity. And so we all need to tell stories. That's what Pokemon, I think, has resonated with all of us, because it's the story in it. And so that's where the quality comes in too, is our storytelling. Yeah. Yes? Hi. What's that?
Tell everyone.
Well, does anyone watch Bugs Bunny? Did you know Mel Blanc, who did the voice for that? June Foray, what's that?
She was in Rocky and Bull.
Yeah, Granny and those. Gosh, she was so good in that. But was she? Yes, that's right. and they're doing a new Rocky and Bullwinkle now too, I think. I think they might be working on that, I don't know. But still, I mean, all of that stuff, all those fractured fairy tales, she did a lot of those. Really so great. That's where you have really good humor, which is what we all need. Not that you're getting that now, but go home and watch Fractured Fairy Tales. Yes, save us. Hi.
A Slayers fanatic is back with another Slayers question.
Slayers, very funny, classic humor.
Okay, so what was your favorite and least favorite line or scene to voice from that show?
I don't retain lines at all. So just to let you know, because I only see them for that 1 second when they're on the page and I'm saying them, and then I just go on to the next one. By the time I leave at the end of the session, I couldn't have told you any lines, quite honestly. But what I loved about that show was all the eating that they did, where they just and then plates would just pile up, and I loved that. I don't know why, but to do all those stupid eating sounds, and then that was the most fun.
We try to emulate that in our real lives.
Well, here in Sacramento, farm to fork to our mouths.
Yeah.
and then plates and plates. We went out to dinner last night, and even though we couldn't finish, we were still like, so we'd like to order one other thing. Can you box this so we can? Because you don't want to waste time not being able to eat the good food, especially in Sacramento. So that's a little of Slayers for you in our real lives. I don't know that there's a memorable scene. I have one clip that I took to use on my reel that Amelia is standing at the top of a church steeple, and she's just singing, and the feeling of that, I think, encapsulates who Amelia is. Standing on that tiny pinnacle, just free. That's what I love about her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We also try and do that in our daily lives
Constantly.
as well.
Constantly.
Just standing on
tiny
rooftops
things.
and
pinheads.
Crossing over fences, breaking property lines, climbing to the top of the buildings to sing.
That's right.
Yes.
Hey,
Parkour.
there you go.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Also, that I know you guys have this here in town, but that the indoor parachute training.
Indoor skydiving.
Indoor skydiving.
Yeah.
Parachuting.
It's awesome.
Doing a thingy without a thingy.
Yeah, the thing.
That thing.
That thing. I love doing that thing.
It's a really cool thing to do.
I haven't done that thing here.
Not
Has
here,
anyone
but-
else done the indoor skydiving? Have you done it? Yeah. Oh,
Very fun, but gutsy at the same time.
I know, but to be able to just jump and it catches you, that's
Oh, I
life,
love it.
man. All right. Next time we'll all talk about it once we've all done that. Yes.
Hi, Veronica. I wanted to ask, have you ever met any celebrities that are, Pokemon fans? Because I think Robert Downey Jr. is one.
Oh. Is he here?
No.
I'm sorry, no.
I would love to meet him. I think he's a tremendously talented actor, and I would love to meet him. And if it's Pokemon that brings us together, I'm game. I don't know if I've met anyone who's super famous.
I think it's I could not tell you anyone, but I think sometimes if we meet someone, they're like, oh my gosh, my nephew loves the show, or
And
my
just put
son,
my name down,
my son
they
loves
say.
it. Yeah, but you could
Just
sign
put
it to
my
me.
name
It's
down.
fine. But a lot of the times, their kids or their friends' kids are really into the show. So
Well, I know Mr. Robin Williams was a really good fan, and a lot of people petitioned to Nintendo to make a professor based off of him, which
Oh, is
hope
that
it happens
right?
someday.
That's a nice bit of trivia.
That's
I didn't
amazing.
know that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And if you know any really famous people who want to talk Pokemon, just send them over.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
We're always
Well, it's a maybe on him.
He's done a couple roles I liked. One with a thing that was like a power thing.
Like
that
glowed?
irony thing.
Yeah.
I'm
That
into
thing.
that. I could discuss that with him. You know, that thing.
That man of iron.
Yeah.
So he built a
He wears a
Yeah.
suit
Yeah, something.
sometimes. It's like
Thank
something.
you.
Thank you.
Do you
Pope Benedict.
If only I could access
Pope
all the
Benedict
knowledge in the
liked
world.
A
I'm
Pokemon?
gonna-
A
Let's call
Pokemon?
him.
Is that what he said?
A
Pokemon. Gotta convert them all. That's so funny. I did not know that. Are you looking that up?
I'm looking it up.
This is
That's
really
so funny.
great. What would it have been? A ghost Pokemon, maybe. A holy ghost. Oh, how much time do we have? I could keep going.
Hi.
Nothing immediately comes up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. We're just here to ask what your favorite Pokemon is.
My favorite Pokemon is Pikachu.
Whoa.
I spent a lot of time with Pikachu, so I really can't have another favorite.
That's true. Mine is Charizard.
There we go.
It's very practical. You know what? We got to pick your favorites with an idea in mind. I have a vision when I say that. You know, Charizard is a great
Handy.
option. Like if you get lost in the woods, you have a fire. Also, he can fly, so you could get out of the woods.
Or
You
out
don't
of
have to
traffic
be
jams.
lost. Out of traffic jams.
We often go camping and forget the matches,
So
so
true.
Charizard would help.
It could
You'd
help.
have to feed it a lot, but
I know, but you know, it's cool. It's like a dragon type thing.
it's hot.
It's hot.
Do you have a favorite?
I think Ghastly is mine.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
that's a good one.
Very good choice. You?
Jirachi is mine.
Oh, all right. Wishmaker. That's good.
That's really cool. Yeah, maybe I need to think about more like
Don't
that
think,
too.
don't think.
Okay, I won't.
Don't need to think.
The idea of the utilitarian Pokemon was pretty good. I
Well,
mean,
thanks.
I know.
the
Yeah, but
Swiss
if I
Army
had
knife
one
of
that could-
Pokemon, the Charizard.
That's true.
true.
But
Totally
also, if
true.
I had one that could grant my wishes, like maybe that would be better. I could just wish for
Oh.
matches and wish to get out of.
That's right.
If I'm lost, I could wish to get out of some place.
Good
like-
point.
The right idea.
Good point.
I think
Never
you
thought
have
of
the
that.
right idea here.
Thank you for coming to this convention.
You've changed my life.
Totally.
I might have to reevaluate. This is hard for me.
Over
Oh.
dinner, let's reevaluate.
I know.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I think I've asked you this before, but there's a video game character that you don't remember playing, but it's from Valkyrie Profile, and her name is Freya,
Yes.
who happens to be the goddess of creation who stands ever faithful by Odin's side.
Yes.
Think of it like Marvel, but it's about Valkyrie. But
Right.
Freya is the character you played, who's practically a goddess. And
such
I
a
just want to know
goddess.
what your interpretation of her is like. See, like, she's cold, calm figure who's uncharacteristically supportive of the Valkyrie, but she feels all races are worthless in comparison to the Acer, and she expresses her contempt for them quite openly.
I would not hold that same opinion. I personally don't agree with that. But it's interesting when you have to commit to a character that you don't fully agree with. I don't know that I knew that amount of information playing her. Yeah, that was a while ago for Valkyrie Profile, right? Does it say when it came out?
Your name is on it, yeah.
No, I did that character. But it was a while ago, like maybe in the 90s? Late 90s, early 2000s?
When the first PlayStation was out, I don't remember the year exactly,
First
but
PlayStation. Was that like...
Yeah, that was
How
like
many
mid to late
PlayStations do
90s.
they have? Is that right?
Yeah.
but this is
That was it?
what she looks
I
like.
thought it was like... Yeah, no, I remember doing her. But I never saw a picture of her until after someone brought it to me. So when a lot of video games, you don't see a picture at all. You just are doing the lines. So you don't even know what the context of them is necessarily. Yeah, 1999. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We
But, like,
partied like it was 1999 while working on that
Compared
show.
to Sailor Pluto, you were like you're like on par with, I say, Goku with this character.
What?
Really?
Wow. Best question of the day. Well, thank you.
Your thoughts on that? This character?
Well,
I mean,
Goku seems to be a little more uncontrolled. Although he is out there, he yells a lot, and Freya would never yell. I know that's not the point of this question.
Let's
but
not get into that. No.
She saves her voice.
Yeah.
Goku is definitely, he's like a pure spirit who's just open and out and just trying stuff, like a puppy dog, you know? Trying, not really necessarily trying to please, but kind of trying to please. And I think Freya was much more contained. She already knew what she wanted, and she was going to achieve that goal. and no one was going to stand in her way.
That's just like her.
So that's the difference, I think. And yet, at the same time, they both, through these different paths, they both achieved their goals.
Yeah,
So
things got in the way of her, but
she knocked down the things that got in her way, and so did Goku.
Yeah, she did.
But in different ways. And then she just went. Psh, like that.
But I think that's the most powerful character you've ever played.
Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah. Thank you. That's
cool.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
think that video game is like very overlooked. Like, people need to play it again.
it. People need to get out the PlayStation. PlayStation.
I gotta go
Yeah.
find my PlayStation
I know,
first.
I gotta get one. It's on my list.
It's a really good game.
With
Oh,
the
thank
Switch.
you.
We have a lot of things we need to buy now.
I need a lot of technology.
I know.
Okay, so here's my question. Social media. Okay,
Okay, wait, hold
are we
on.
all ready? Are we in the zone? Yeah. How many people are on Twitter? How many? Is that a rarely?
Yeah.
How many people are on Instagram? How many people are on Facebook?
I have. Oh, she's on it right now.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Put your phone down. But are you on Facebook for social or for like friends?
Pretty much.
Networking, business?
I was told as an aspiring performer, you need to be on those platforms to reach people,
Right.
and make connections. That's what
I was also told that if you don't have a certain number of followers, no one will listen to your auditions. So I think, I don't judge anyone by how many followers they have, but there's a lot of pressure for people to have followers, which I think is dumb. But thank you all for following me.
Please.
But
Please
my
go follow
question
us.
really is this. As we move forward, and so, everything constantly changes, right? So you're kind of on, I know I'm almost done. Don't look at your watch, I'm almost there. As we move forward, so before it was only Facebook, and then Twitter came out, and then Instagram, and then it's like, oh, the kids like the Instagram, or the da-da, you know, like all of this stuff. When we're trying to, I try to post some things that might be funny, or might kind of reach you to inform or make a difference. What is a better way to do it? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Instagram stories. What do people prefer? And what's annoying?
Twitter gets out the fastest.
Twitter, right? I like Twitter because I can see a post that you do and repost it to pass it along. And I think in that sense, it's a little more generous and a little more community forming. Because on Instagram, I feel like I can like something, but it remains in its little tube. You know what I mean? I can't share what you post on Instagram the way I can on Twitter.
Unless you screenshot it, I mostly screenshot and then I repost.
Then you can repost. So what do you guys, what reaches you, or what do you think is the best way to post something? Any ideas?
Do you look, for example, do you look at Instagram, when you're on Instagram, do you look at stories more, or do you look at people's posts more at your feed?
Posts?
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 Posts are kind of hard because Instagram's algorithm is weird. They don't do it by timeline.
That's right. The algorithms mess all of us up because there's people that you want to follow, but you don't know what they're doing.
Algorithms.
Algorithms. Ow.
Good.
Algorithms. Yeah, that's good.
That's a good
Okay,
name.
this was
informative.
Thank you for spending time with us and putting up with our dad humor.
Yeah.
And
Just
everyman
regular humor.
Regular
Yeah,
humor.
regular humor.
I hope to see you all throughout the weekend. Rena and I will be down at the table tomorrow. We have a Pokemon panel with the cast at 11 a.m., which is super, super early. Thank you for moderating. Again, it's so nice to see you.
Hey.
But what's that? Rachael, Eric, Tara, and I will be here at 11. This is the first time we've ever been all together at a show, so it's super
pretty
exciting.
awesome.
And I want to say from Ash Ketchum, hey, SacAnime, I choose you! And all y'all, too. Oh, sorry. That's Southern, that's Southern. Anyway, no, seriously, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody. Give Veronica and Rena a big round of applause.